What would D-Day look with robots? I'm Dr. Robin Murphy, and welcome to the Robotics Through Science Fiction podcast. Saving Private Ryan is such a brilliant film, showing us the scale of combat during D-Day as well as the personal impact both at that time and decades later. Well, what would an event like that look like with robots, and what would we need in the way of AI? Of course, in science fiction movies, the battles are generally between a couple of robots, one good, one bad. But in real life, tactical military robots are more like specialized tools. They're small drones to see over that next hill, the throwable robot to get the view inside of a building, bomb squad robots for disposing of IEDs, underwater robots looking for mines, or tanks and personnel carriers that can drive themselves and anticipate ambushes. So in real life, we aren't seeing robot armies, but rather robots as extensions of the soldiers, allowing them to sense and act from a safe distance. Now, at first blush, that doesn't sound like the robots need much intelligence, right? That the intelligence is really with the soldier. But there is a lot of subtle intelligence required for humans and robots to work together. So remember that old adage, if it's easy for a human, it's hard for a computer? It's very easy for us to form teams and work with other people, quickly pick up what others are trying to do, what their strengths and limitations are, and just make it work. That type of intelligence turns out to be very, very hard. A key component is common ground, that the robot and the human have a common background of knowledge about how things work, knowledge about what others might want to be doing, as well as the overall context. The standard example that's pretty easy to ask your significant other, hey, please get me some coffee, as they head out the door to run errands, and be reasonably sure that they will make an extra stop and come back with those pecan-flavored K-cups that you love. But a robot might interpret that as a command to stop what it's doing, pour you a cup of coffee, and bring over a mug. Sure, a robot may have learned your preferences for pecan-flavored coffee, might somewhere have access to a spreadsheet that shows that you're running low of supplies, or that since it's departing on errands to stores, the request is being made at the store scale. But that's a whole lot of connections and inference to be made. We just know what is being meant, and that just know is really hard in robotics. And of course, it's what you'd like in a robot working for a soldier. The soldier can just say a request and be doing something, and the robot knows what's meant. No long sentences, no having to worry about how you phrase the request. It knows what you really mean. And there's more to that type of intelligence than ChatGPT. There's a classic paper on this by Gary Klein, David Woods, Jeff Bradshaw, and James Hoffman called 10 Challenges for Making Automation a Team Player in Joint Human-Agent Activity. It's a seminal paper, and I really recommend you read it. Now, if you want the science fiction version that's totally appropriate for the D-Day anniversary, particularly in remembrance of all the Americans who've sacrificed their lives for our country and such, make it Elizabeth Bear's sci-fi classic Tideline. It's a perfect illustration of the role of common ground in the 10 challenges. In Tideline, a Marine Corps robot soldier is trapped on a beach. It's crafting Cornell box-like memorials to her fallen human comrades. One of the best science fiction stories of all time. It won the 2008 Hugo. I dare you not to cry when you read it. It lyrically captures Chastain's point of view while never telling us who started the war, who the enemy is or was, who won, size of weapons. None of that matters. This isn't military science fiction, and it doesn't even matter that the tides will eventually destroy Chastain. What does matter is that she remembers her dead band of brothers and has a rich common ground of what it means to be human and to be civilized. And she passes that on to the orphan child she finds. That's the type of intelligence we should be striving for, both for robots and for us humans. And yes, it's hard. You can read more about Tideline and the 10 challenges of being a team player at the Robotics Through Science Fiction website, including links to the story. Publishers often put Hugo winning stories out there for free, so we're not bypassing the author. and my interview with Elizabeth Bear. You can also read more about intelligence in my textbook, Introduction to AI Robotics. And if human-robot interaction intrigues you, check out my book, Learn AI and Human-Robot Interaction from Asimov's iRobot Stories. But do remember D-Day, and do remember what it means to be a true team player.